Good morning. This is Dave, your host at Arizona Model Shop with Meng Group Build 2020 update number 1. So I got a little video I'm going to throw in here. I know everyone was anxious about how I was doing the wooden decking on here that I decided to do. My kit didn't come with it, so I did it on my own, old school way. So with no further ado, I'm going to jump into that video and come back and show you the rest of it. So hold on. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be at this time. This is Dave behind the camera, and I am doing my first update on the Meng Tiger Group build. And I know I said I was going to be showing or decking this little monster. So I'm going to try and show you how I do it. Is what you'll need. The planks, I can't remember the width of them. It is you can get this from HO or in scale model trains, and it's lumber. So first off, I am using the Zap-A-Gap thick. It's very slow curing, so I get a chance to move the planks around before I set them and get them lined up. You'll need, I use a little bent needle and I've sharpened it to dip it in and put it on there. You're going to need an X-Acto knife to clean your edges and make little ones. Tweezers to put them on, of course. This is on photo paper, a little dab of that. I do this, use this thing, I flip it over when I'm ready and I hold it down tight and I cut around. Make sure you have a brand new X-Acto knife blade in there, number 11, so you can make that nice clean cut. For getting in the round things or along some edges going one way so you don't pull them, I use a little file. You can pick these up at Micro Mark. I can get them on Amazon, the micro files, different shapes, but this one's a half round. And then I tend to use the sanding pads, different grits, and I always cut my emery boards or sanding sticks, whatever you like to call them, in half so I can make them last longer. One side is smoother and the other side is coarse. I do a coarse thing, a fine, and then I use this along the edges and around some of the contours because they do bend so nice. You can also use, if you have filing sticks, you can use these too. So without further ado, let me get in here and lay one of these down, or a couple for you. I'm going to try to keep my big hands out of the way for you. Let's see if I can get that lined up. So the planks are the same size, pretty much the same size as the lines in the deck that are there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay one, use my starter. We'll go in here. Then I just pick that little bad boy up and I lay it right on that line. Give it a little push. So this sets your cue to build off of for the other ones. So let's see if we can get another one in here. Hopefully I got that, you got that, but that's my first one. Trying to look up at the little tiny monitor. Don't worry about covering up any of the holes. If you do it right and you lay that flat, you can cut through and cut those out. The number 11 works really well. So one thing you want to try to remember too is the small areas right here. You can try to stagger these in here, but it's going to be a real pain. So to stagger one, I'll take one and I'll cut it in half. Use one side just to give me over to the edge. Lay a little down. Pick it up and lay it in there. Give it a little push, make sure it's tight. So now I can use this one back here or along here to make that, and use that as a full one. These are a little different height-wise, thickness, going from, you know, top to bottom. So you will have to do some sanding to kind of level that out and make it look good. But hopefully, there you go. There's what I've been doing. So I'll try to do another one here real quick. Let's see. All right, we'll go on the inside here. I'm going to cover both sides. Make sure you clean your tip off of this if you're going to try this quite a bit. Hopefully it's in there. And overhang them on the bottom. Overhang the sides just like that, so you can cut those little boogers. Let me try to zoom in here a little bit. Pardon the reposition. Hopefully you can see it a little better. Okay, let's lay another one down beside this one. So I like to keep the little tip clean on there, so not a lot of buildup. I just use my blade and scrape that stuff off. Okay. Alright, here we go. Hopefully you can see this one. I'm going to lay it right down this line here. So lay a little down. And pick up a plank. We'll stagger this one and slide her in. There you go. Like I say, these are going to be different heights. That's right, because you're going to sand them. You're going to sand all that off, and then, like I say, overhang those little boogers on the backside, so you can cut that off. The circles and these little things, a brand new blade. I just take the tip, and I just go inside here and make a bunch of little holes, and then I turn over and find it, and you just set that blade down in there, and it'll cut them out. And then use your file, go one way so you're not pulling up and down on that board. But that's how you do it. Okay. Actually, I got one done. I'll show you. This is what they look like when they are done. This one is decked. So that's the stern. That's the stern piece. Got all the little pieces cut out. So when you snap that on it should be good to go. Alright. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll be showing some more. Okay, now that we have seen how I was doing it, hopefully you got it, I will show you the end result. And there it is. It's already been painted and ready to go. I have to do a little bit of cutting back here when the superstructure sits on there, so it'll fit right. And you just take your X-Acto knife and trace it out and knock it out of there. But there it is, all done. Sealed. I seal this with a dull coat, a lacquer dull coat, so that it helps hold all the little planks on. If you knock one, they can stay tight. Okay, we got that, and my hull is done. All done. All the portholes have been drilled out and glass on the back side inserted back here with this wonderful stuff right here. Both sides are done. This is just pinstriping that I used, dull coated over it, but the hull is done. Props are drying, so that is done. I got most of the superstructure together. Holes are drilled out along there, and this is going to be a darker color on top and then the gray on the sides. All the turrets have been primed and ready to go, and some are sitting here. Oh, there it is. Hopefully you can see this little booger. I made a photo etch radar to go on top of the ship. instead of the little plastic one. I'm probably going to throw a few ladders on there just to give it a little more. But that's the photo etch. Radar will go on top, replace the one that's on it. And that is, I got the stacks primed, ready to go. Probably put some ladders on the sides of these to give it a little more oomph. And there is going to be, I am going to rail it, so there'll be railing along the side too. So that is pretty much my update. I spent most of the day yesterday doing the planking, the hull, priming, painting, waiting for stuff to dry. So we will see you in update number 2.